Hector is one of only a handful of storms in the world to have a name. He hangs out over the Tiwi Islands at the top end of Australia, rocking up every afternoon during the build-up season between about September and December, and also right throughout the wet season whenever the monsoon isn't active. Normally, the Bureau of Meteorology doesn't bother to give thunderstorms names, and that's because they're pretty fleeting. They only last maybe a few minutes or a few hours. But Hector, he arrives like clockwork. He was named by World War II pilots travelling between Darwin and Papua New Guinea because he's essentially a landmark that sits high up in the atmosphere, so they could use it to make sure they didn't get lost. Hector's really big. You can spot him all the way from Darwin, like 100 kilometres away, and that's because he reaches right up through the atmosphere, in fact, to the top of the troposphere. And all that cloud means tons of rain, tons of lightning and thunder, and in fact, sometimes it moves. Hector's made it all the way to Darwin before. People love taking photos of him, and they can because they know exactly when he's going to rock up, 3 o'clock every afternoon. There are heaps of photos and videos of Hector from Darwin, but not nearly as many taken from the Tiwi Islands. Murray Fredericks is one of the only photographers to get footage of Hector from Melville Island, and it is amazing to behold. He was granted a filming permit back in 2010 and undertook a long survey to locate a camp and a filming spot. Murray had to make sure that he had the best view of Hector as he formed and developed each day over the islands. He now returns every year to that spot, camping underneath the path of the storm, adding to his long photographic and video series called Hector. So what is it that makes Hector appear at 3 o'clock every single day? Well, ask a Bureau meteorologist and they'll tell you. It's because there are perfect conditions over Bathurst and Melville Islands every afternoon. It's mostly to do with sea breeze and the shape of the islands. They're roughly shaped like pyramids where the sides all converge, so the sea breeze can rush up them to form a thunderstorm at the top, and that can reach right up into the atmosphere, like 20 kilometres. That's called a convective cell. So aficionados and locals have a bit of a nickname for Hector. They call him Hector the Convector. Since the 1980s, people have travelled from all around the world to come and study Hector, and that makes him one of the most observed storms out there. Meteorologists especially love him. If you're studying cumulonimbus, you want something that's so reliable because it can be really hard to get really good data when you're looking at things like convective currents and lightning. Hector might be very much loved by locals, but he's not actually all that special or unique. There's way more interesting weather out there. He's just a thunderstorm. But he's a thunderstorm that is reliably on time. A skill I wish I had. That and lightning.